Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is Thursday night. I don't know where in the world you are, but thank you. Welcome to the show. I am Matt Kim, joined by my co-host over there, somewhere in a garage with a bunch of shit all around him, Peter Sarrington.
What's up, my friends? My hearts go out to you. Welcome to the Matt Kim podcast. It's Do It Live Thursdays. Check in SAR and make sure that you are here. Let us know.
Dude, how awesome is that coming soon waiting screen that I made? That thing is, I worked so hard on that thing, and I think it's awesome. I don't know, man.
Matt's giving me an opportunity to once again, scratch his back and make him feel good because I was oogling over it. I loved it. I loved it. It's a perfect animation of who Matt is, smiling, free thinker, and then that retard Peter. Like, I love it. It's perfect.
It had like the heart going out to you and the fucking heart's coming out of the head. I was like, dude, this is amazing. I can't believe I ate this shit.
Hadouken. It's a heart Hadouken for all of you guys out there. So for all of you guys out there, do a heart Hadouken. Let us know. Check in. Smash the like button, please, with your cursor. Let's do it. Because from our last episode, we got a strike. So we got to fight against the machine.
Yeah, we did get a strike. We covered it in the pod, in the most previous pod. I think we released it yesterday. But we got a strike for some bullshit. Hopefully, we're trying to fight it, but another strike means that we will be back in YouTube jail for the next 90 days, meaning that we would have been in 2025. That is our second probation, not including our suspension. So we would have spent over half the year in YouTube jail.
It's an unfortunate occurrence for sure.
It's crazy because I don't think we're like that crazy. I mean, yeah, we say some racist, crazy shit sometimes. And yes, you high seal Hitler like literally every week. But outside of that, like, it's not that bad.
It's not that deep, man.
You know what I mean? Like, we're not hateful people.
No.
But for some reason, it's like.
Well, let's just take this for an example. We're 2 minutes into the show, right? And we're so glad all of you SARs are here. Make sure you check in. Absolutely. But let's be intellectually honest. We start the show and we're always smiling. Like,
Yeah.
we're happy. Like, how many shows you turn on and the first thing you see is a scowl of someone angry about what Orange Man Bad did. Like, we're not that type of guy. It's not that deep, guys.
It's crazy. We're gonna spend over 6 months this year in YouTube jail, but it is what it is. We did a stream last Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern time. This week we're doing it on Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be looking for better dates to do it moving forward. And the way the format of the show is, for anyone that's new and hasn't seen the last week's episode, is we're going to start off by hitting 2, 3, 4 main topics of the week. And we may ramp it up to 2 times a week, depending on how this thing goes. And then we will answer any chats and questions and things like this at the end of the show. So stick around. That's the plan.
Let's go.
I think everyone's worried. Everyone's been thinking about kind of this Epstein thing because we've talked about Epstein a lot.
Yes.
And we've also spoken about how annoying and how fucking the gaslighting that they did when they're like, oh yeah, the Epstein hoax.
Yeah. The fact that they're using the word hoax with Epstein, you now know the narrative has shifted to the end game for them.
And we see Thomas Massey, who we kind of like, roll out this kind of parade of Epstein victims. Yeah. And I don't know. Hey, Will, can you just play the clip of the girl talking about how this one.
Release the files and the secrecy and stand with us in declaring that no one, no billionaires, no politicians, not world leaders, is above the law. And let me announce now, several of us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list of names.
Look how happy she is.
What is going on?
It's fucking weird because
Super
when
weird.
in my mind I'm like, all right, they're gonna roll out the Epstein survivors and they're gonna call out a bunch of people. I'm like, yes, that sounds awesome. And then I watched this video and I watched this girl and she's so happy to have the limelight. She's so happy to have this kind of group of people like giving her this admiration and affection and attention. And it's like, this shit doesn't seem genuine either.
It does not, Matt. I would concur with you 100%. And if I may, when I watched this for the first time, my first thought was, wait. Weren't we thrown this narrative like a couple months ago? Don't bring up the victims. The reason why we're not releasing this is because there's so many victims and there's so many people that could be hurt by this. And now, months later, everything's unveiled? Like you're gonna show your face on TV. You're a victim? But here's the thing though. You're not just a victim. You're a happy and smiling and excited victim. It was so confounding, Matt. I did not know what the actual point of all of this was. Is this just a game?
The whole thing seems like a charade, doesn't it? Because then you have this DOJ deputy chief that got gotcha'd by James O'Keefe. Can you play like the first 15, 20 seconds of that real quick too, Will?
Well, those files do exist.
Yeah, thousands and thousands of pages of files. They'll redact every Republican or conservative person in those files, leave all the liberal, democratic people in those files.
And people are like, oh look, they got him, and they're gonna remove all the Republicans, and I'm like, wait a second. But then the Democrats and the Democratic media are the ones that are pushing this idea that there's these new Epstein survivors out there. So that's contrary to that. And the whole thing doesn't make any sense. It's just like it's almost like when they start calling the Epstein hoax and they saw how many clicks and views that topic got, everyone's like, hey, maybe we can all cash in.
That's exactly it. Let's be honest. The best time in history of all history for CNN was Trump. Let's be honest. The entire Trump campaign, both times, best views, best ratings ever for CNBC, MSNBC, CNN, all of those news networks. And so they loved Trump. Why? Because it gave them views and it made sure that their really expensive handlers, also known as the pharmaceutical companies, would make sure that they get lots of ads and playtime. So it's almost like as long as you're getting the views, right? As long as you're getting the impressions, as long as you're getting it out there, don't care, don't matter. Super weird though.
I mean, because they even put the stripper in front of everyone. I don't like the stripper. What's her name? Anna Paulina Luna.
Yeah.
They even put her out there, and she's like, "Oh, there is reason to believe that it was like a foreign intelligence operation." I'm like, when they roll out the stripper to tell the population what to think, something fishy is going on.
I would even, maybe I'm taking a negative take on this, Matt, but if the stripper comes out and tells you what to think, you're at, we're at rock bottom, bro. We have hit bottom of the barrel. I don't think we can get much lower than this.
I mean, I don't remember when I started to really dislike her. What was it about? Was it about the MLK files or JFK files, and she was in charge of it? Regardless, if you're a stripper, you have shown in your life that you're willing to do anything for money, and then this is the person that you.
Well, so can I bring up a very salient point?
Yes.
People die when they reveal things about the oligarchy, when they reveal things about men and women of power, men and women of industry, right? People die. And so let us not forget, Jeffrey Epstein died because he has lots of dirt on people, or so they say. So why would you, let me throw the bone to you, Matt. if you are a victim of such horrendous acts on your body, your mind, your soul by a terrible human being, and this human being gets, let's just say, deleted from the timeline, are you going to go in front of the entire world and say, I have dirt on all of these people who think they got away because Epstein's, what did Bill Gates say? Oh, he's dead now, so don't worry about him, right? Like, is there no fear in this? Am I missing a part of the equation here? Wouldn't you be somewhat fearful, Matt, to go on public television when people have, let's say, been deleted from the timeline?
I mean, on top of all this, people are talking about these new set of victims that just, a lot of them just popped out of nowhere. The person that is funding this entire shenanigan is the lady that was like paying people to do these rape allegations against Trump in like 16, 17. So it's already another shady character in there. And on top of all that, the one thing that none of these people are talking about is the fact that what everyone knows is that this whole thing was like a Mossad honeypot.
I mean, it's been said, it's been stated. We've had, let's just say, expert testimony, whatever that means, that there are quite a lot of, let's say, connections to intelligence agencies. And we've seen, I forgot the name, but there was an email dump recently from one of the Israeli, I think maybe prime ministers or previous prime minister or something like that, where they were talking with Epstein. So the connection is real. But the question is it real enough so that these people should be scared for coming forward? I guess not.
I mean, I like struggle with this.
What do you think is going to be the outcome?
Nothing. Nothing is going to be the outcome. I mean, come on. The obvious is that nothing's going to happen. You know?
So then what's the point?
I mean, right now we're seeing that they are trying to shift the blame on somebody else. They want you to focus on victims now because they don't want you to think about what's really going on. And it happens to be at the same exact time that Bibi is on his propaganda tour. And it's funny that Bibi is on all the podcasts that Trump was on.
Yes, he is.
It's almost like they have the same agent.
Or handlers. Maybe.
You know, they're from like, they're going to the same batch of central casting podcasters.
Well, we did talk about that last weekend or last episode. You're right.
So I don't know. I think the whole thing is going to end up being a nothing burger. We're going to talk about it. We're going to fight about it. Someone mentioned something about the fact that it's 1 week before 9/11. 9/11 is going to come around. Are we going to be talking about 9/11 again? Are we going to talk about dancing Israelis? Are we going to talk about Building 7 again? Like, how many times every year can you talk about Building 7, the dancing Israelis? Can you talk about the fact that CIA was known to be connected with bin Laden? Like, how many times can we talk about this before we're like, all right, fatigue?
Well, let me ask you this. So we know that the Gulf of Tonkin was real, right? The whole false flag of blowing up our own battleship outside, Vietnam, so that we can get into the Vietnam War. I could go on for the ad infinitum on how many false flags are out there. You guys can just chat GBT it, type in the popular false flags, you'll find them all. Clearly, 9/11 was that. And so when does 9/11 go into the halls of history where we're all like, yeah, we knew it's legit. Yes, it was a false flag. It got us into Iraq. It got us into Afghanistan. It got us into Syria. It was the beginning of all. Yeah, water under the bridge, Matt. Like it's not that deep. Like don't hurt yourself thinking too much. Is that where 9/11 is going to be placed in the roll of history? Is like we knew and we all know that it was a false flag perpetrated by our evil enemies, and we're all just going to be like, yeah. Water under the bridge, bro.
Is there a possibility actually that in a future history textbook, they're like, it was an inside job?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
Do you think that it's actually going to pick up enough steam and stick around where it's so common knowledge that they're like, oh yeah, it's fine. Yeah. We're just going to put it in there now. It's the truth.
Yeah. I think so. I think we're going to get to that point. And so, yes, are we at fatigue? But at the same time, I think we're also at, we're at a point of concession. It's like, they did it. Yeah, what are you going to do about it? And so the point is to get us to exhaustion where we don't actually care anymore. Or here's a word, indifferent. Ooh.
Like what would happen? What would happen in this country if they came out And they're like, you know what? We've been thinking about it. We've been figuring it out. And we're going to tell you the truth. Epstein was a Mossad honeypot, and they were supported and working and got all of the most powerful people in the country. That's all true. What would actually happen if they did that?
Nothing.
Hmm.
Nothing. It's all charade. So let me ask you this.
You'd get a handful of people who say, I told you so. And everybody like, oh, yeah, I knew that too. And you wouldn't even get the I told you so vindication.
You wouldn't even feel good about it. Right? You'd actually feel bad about it. You'd be like, I told you so. And they'd be like, yeah, we know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't get the resolution. You don't get the vindication. You don't get the feel good. Right. And so here's my question. If these ladies, I'll respect them. If these ladies come up with their own list, Matt, what is, you said, you already gave me the answer. You said nothing's going to happen, but what could conceivably happen if they bring up this list? Like, is it really a nothing burger, or is there something substantial that can actually come from this type of disclosure? I don't know. I'm not a legal analyst.
I mean, I don't even know how much I care about who's on the list any longer.
Oh, Matt, is it like that?
I mean, it's a bunch of old rich guys that are not going to have anything happen to them anyway. Like,
yep. But you forget these rich guys still walk around. They still do stuff. They still operate with impunity. They still have oversight over lots of things, and the things that these countries and policies and regulations and legislation and moving people. Like,
okay,
they're still out there. So they're still a danger to society.
I got another interesting question then.
Okay.
Will these girls make more money off the Epstein victim tour, or will they make more money from a future settlement?
You got it. A, the former.
This Epstein victim tour is a huge moneymaker, huh?
Absolutely.
They're going to make size. They're going to do well.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that one lady who was on TV, that crazy looking lady who said that Trump did all these bad things to her. Do you remember when she had that interview where she was like, yeah, we're going to go out. We're going to buy all these things. Me and the girls, we're making all this money. It's like, well, you said the silent part out loud. So you're making all this money through this tour, and you're making all this money through all these appearances. Is that how it's going to be? I think the word is grifter. I think that's the word you're looking for. Are these grifters?
Okay, then here's a more harder question. What the hell is Thomas Massey doing?
Maybe he's compromised in ways that we could never even conceive of.
I liked him, but of all the things to do, like to roll out a Epstein victim tour, and again, if they seemed like genuine, then maybe my feeling would be different. But I watched a lot of those clips of those press conference, and I'm like,
there's very
these
little
hoes. You know what I mean? It's like a cash grab.
No, bro, say less. You got it, man. I mean,
how many of them are going to have OnlyFans in 3 days?
Bro, not like this. Not like, or like a GoFundMe. So, it's like seriously, there was almost nothing. What makes a bad movie? What makes a bad movie is when you can't empathize with the protagonist, when you can't sympathize with their plight, when you can't embody in that role the struggle, right? When you watch these, you deem them hoes. When you watch these hoes on TV, there's nothing likable. I can't empathize. I know you're a victim, or you're a proclaimed victim, right? Who knows the truth, right? Like, peace. Fair enough. Like, terrible things have been done. However, you're not making your case strong when you're smiling and your eyes get wide when people are clapping and you're like, oh, I'm liking this. Oh, let's pause for effect. Let's like, come on, bro. What is this roadshow that's going on? I'm completely confounded.
I was on the side of never let this Epstein thing go, because
you were, yes.
I was like, you never forget what they did with the Epstein thing. And then they even made it more ridiculous. And now I'm like, oh, fuck this Epstein thing. You know what I mean? Like, they took it to a level of like,
did they get to you?
Ridiculous now?
Did they get to you, Matt? Did they get to you?
Damn.
Are you there?
I got a tiny hat envelope. They said, don't talk about the Epstein thing anymore. It's like, okay, I won't. I won't dedicate 30
That's
minutes
like
to
an
it.
Alex Jones, Owen Schroyer thing. Did you see that clip when Alex Jones came in when they were talking with Schroyer was talking with Fuentes and they started bringing up the tiny hats and he was like, "Whoa! I just got a call from Israel. They were saying that probably shouldn't be talking about this stuff." So, did you get the call?
No, but I don't know if I got the call. I got a call on Monday asking me if I wanted to be on um what's Alex Jones thing called?
Infowars.
Infowars. Yeah. I got a call asking me if I wanted to be a guest on Infowars because Owen Schroyer is like not there and someone else is filling in and they wanted me to come in as a guest on the show. And
Oh,
I said no.
why? I'm sure people in the audience would be curious as to why you'd say no to that.
I don't know. Like I don't think of Infowars like the way I used to. You know what I mean?
Have they rubbed off on you too as well?
Yeah, Infowars is just like I don't know what's going on with Alex Jones, but we've talked about him before, you know. But something about him just it doesn't seem right any longer. You know, I used to like him back in the day, but now I don't
He's
know. I just didn't want to be in that universe, you know.
I think with Alex Jones, the problem is his delivery is just so grating over time, right? It's just like I can't have a man screaming at me forever, right? And I think that's one of the things that's worn out for me when it comes to Alex Jones. But let's close the loop on these precious women of God that were on TV previously. Are we going to witness over the next 6, 8, 10, 14 weeks, maybe even longer, this road show that's going to include all of these revelations that don't amount to anything? I mean, I'm trying to understand what the end game is. Other than grifting and getting speaking fees and going on TV, like, is it really just a money grab, do you think, Matt? Or are they actually trying to close the loop or on this? I'm not quite sure.
I think we're building up to something bigger. It
Oh,
just feels like it. It feels like we're building up to like a big event in the world. And it's just testing all narratives, getting everyone discombobulated, throwing everyone in various directions, making sure that all the sides are starting to even out a little bit so that there's enough chaos to keep it interesting and to keep people distracted. And there's something going to happen. I don't know what that thing is. And I think we've been all waiting for that kind of black swan event over the last year and it hasn't happened yet. Um,
what do you
I'm
think that
still
could
on the
be?
side of that's going to happen. I don't know what it's going to be. You know, I don't think it's what we expect. That's the thing. Like, it's not going to be another virus because they've already done that. I don't think it's going to be like an immigration thing because we've already tried that. It
Aliens.
aliens, but they've been trying the alien thing, and what we're finding out is outside of kind of the major alien UFO community, like people are already like neutralized to it.
Space
So
lasers. I know, space lasers.
space lasers, maybe a blackout. You know, the blackout thing makes sense.
Ooh.
I mean, the blackout is the most dangerous thing, you know, something with the energy grid.
We haven't
It could
tried that
be.
yet. We haven't tried
We
that.
haven't tried yet.
We've done lots of floods, right? We've done lots of floods. We've done lots of fires with space lasers. So clearly, I guess the next thing is space lasers. Yeah, that makes sense.
Space lasers.
The fake second coming is what thought criminals said. I think that's a pretty good idea. What do you have you not seen? Can I test the zeitgeist? Have you not seen a rise in conversation, content, and topics around the end times? Is it just me that seems like that content and that topic has increased a little bit on my timeline, or is it just me?
Maybe a little bit, you know, but I don't know.
Man, I'll tell you, we are living in a strange world, my friend, where we are having these women who are victims
Mm.
smiling, getting the press. I have no idea where this is going, but you're saying, and I think a lot of our audience can probably agree with you in this sentiment, is that the simmer is turning into a boil.
I mean, whatever big is going to happen, what I do know for sure is that somehow within the web of who's involved, Israel will be involved.
Yeah, Captain Obvious.
because everything that's happening in the world, like somehow they're like either directly or loosely linked to like every storyline and every narrative.
Why is that?
And one way, shape, because that's, I mean, if they're mentioned enough, obviously that it's just all roads lead to,
Mm.
you know, I don't know what that's going to be like, but
Well, we find that intelligent individuals are recognizers of patterns. And I think we've clearly seen that certain species of human have certain patterns that are clearly recognizable over the span of history and time. And so it seems to me, kind of jumping on what you were just talking about, is that there seems to be a pattern of the Jewish species, which they tend to be quite entangled into world affairs, and not only world affairs, but often terrible world affairs. So that's an intriguing pattern. Am I incorrect in this pattern recognition, Matt?
well, like, because even like the next thing I wanted to talk about today was this like fishing boat, and this Venezuelan fishing boat that got missiled, right?
Mm.
Hey, Will, can you pull it up real quick? It it doesn't even have a cover, right? It's not a big boat. They call it a speed boat, but to missile this thing seems like way over the top.
I mean, they could be carrying a lot of bad stuff in that boat.
But why not intercept it? It doesn't even have a top. It's not an armored boat. You know what I mean? Like there's a million ways to take out that boat.
You're not wrong. So what's
And
the story?
why is the US military getting involved when something like this is typically done by the Coast Guard?
Yes, or lower level peons for sure.
And they would typically just intercept it, especially because there was no imminent danger there. And what kind of crazy idea would it be is if you just captured the boat, arrested them? Hey, where are your drugs coming from? Where are your drugs going? If that was a problem, how do they even know that there were so many drugs on that boat when they blew it up? There's no proof that they had drugs because if they did, they destroyed it. There's no evidence any longer because they blew it up. Why go out of your way to blow up a fishing boat that quickly?
I think there's probably a narrative there that we're probably missing. And I would say if this was a movie, not that, politics is a movie or anything like that, or world affairs is a movie, but if this was a movie, it would seem odd that you would blow up the opportunity to understand the evidence, or at least detain the witnesses, or detain the victims, or detain the propagators, or the bad guys. Like, wouldn't you want to understand where they came from, where they're going, what they're carrying, why they're doing it? I mean, like,
people that try saying, "Oh, it was like a show of force and all of this," but that's not true.
a real show of force is arresting you and then doing what we enjoyed doing down in, let's just say, islands, prison jails, right, that we have that are still up and operational, by the way. I actually believe we were talking about 9/11 in the memorials coming up in a week or so, is that there are actually still 9/11 prisoners in American jail systems. So,
like, if you're going to do a show of force, you don't do it in something that is clearly like against international law.
yeah, I mean, whatever happened to let's have a conversation?
Why would you do something that's totally out of bounds of what is normalized and allowed to do just for the sake of doing, to say, oh, look, we're strong? Like, it doesn't make any sense, actually. There's a million other ways they could have achieved that.
Well, I think you just made the point there, though, Matt, didn't you? I mean, isn't that the point? This optics was to show strength, regardless of the narrative or the context or the background of what it was all about. Remember, they are projecting television, right? They are programming you. They are programming us. This is what they want us to see. And the narrative is, yes, show of force, right? And that's what they want the public to know. For what reason? You got me, brother. I have no idea why they would do that.
It is a missile against a fishing boat. No one's watching this going, oh, yeah, like that was a good one. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like so lopsided.
It seems like a it seems like an overreaction to a boat. Like you said, if you roll the video, it is an open fishing boat. It's not like they're trying to hide what's in that boat. They said it's a speedboat, but I don't know about you, Matt, but I've seen speedboats. That boat didn't look like it was moving that fast, right?
No,
So
it,
there's
it, it had like four engines in the back. I don't know, probably a lot of horsepower. Maybe it was moving kind of quickly, but still,
I
it
don't know,
didn't even have a roof. You know what I mean?
no
You know what
covering.
I mean? There was
And
nothing there. They could have had some drones track it around and fucking intercept it at any given point.
exactly. And so what do you think this is really all about?
Well, we touched on it before slightly, on why is the U.S. so adamantly going after Venezuela and Maduro?
Mm,
And what we know now is that Venezuela has the largest reserve of oil in the world, that they are poor, not poor because they are extremely rich because they have a lot of oil. They are poor because there are so many sanctions put on them that they can't trade with the rest of the world for their oil.
all right.
And like, oh yeah, they're drug dealers. Well, you don't let them trade their one natural resource that they have.
Oh yeah, because we want to control it.
And then you take that, and on top of that, you have Maduro that is super anti-Israel, super anti-Bibi Netanyahu, and all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, they have oil and they don't like Israel, and now the United States is bombing their fishing boats and sending troops to there. And what happened to No More Wars, by the way? Why are we sending troops to Venezuela? Like, who wants to go to war with Venezuela over some fucking drugs?
Yeah.
Like, really, drugs? We're in another war on drugs? Are we still doing war on drugs here? Are you kidding me?
I thought the war on drugs jumped the shark. I thought, like people talking about smoking weed and doing, we got Hunter Biden, and all the executive staff like doing, coke up their nose all the time, and like drugs has kind of jumped the shark, don't you think? Don't you think this is kind of the popular collective conscious around drugs is at a low. Like people don't really care anymore. What do you say?
Well, and the most dangerous drugs are the legal drugs
Oh,
in this country.
don't go there. Now you're starting to sound like RFK.
Well, it's all the legal drugs that people are getting addicted to, that people are having a hard time, all the different opioids that they have that are here legally, the doctors and the pharmaceutical companies that intentionally get you hooked and addicted to them and keep you in their system forever. That's okay.
Well, yes, absolutely, man. It's part of the plan. It's part of the game, right? I forget what it is. We could probably look it up real quick, but the average, I think it's like 50% of Americans are on like 2 to 3 like prescription drugs. I think America is the most drugged country and drugged populace on the planet. But yet, we have to go to war on the illegal drugs in Venezuela because Venezuela matters more than Detroit.
The war on drugs is not a war on drugs. It's a war on the competition.
Oh, well said, Matt. That's very eye-opening of you. The war on the competition. So tell me, what's the competition?
I mean, they're like, oh, there's enough fentanyl to kill how many people, and they say that all the time. Well, number one, stop just like randomly taking so many drugs. Like, it's not the best for you. Like, you shouldn't do it. Number two, what happened to freedom? If you want to take a bunch of drugs, like, take a bunch of drugs. Like, that's your choice and your prerogative at this point in life. There's not a lot of people trying to.
Well, Dare is dead. We know Dare is dead. Like
That was trillions of dollars that went into Dare.
I mean, I think it's relatively been proven, Matt, that the war on drugs was an epic waste and epic failure. I think we've proven that now. And so it's always about resources, right? They have all this oil. Oh, Venezuela also has gold, right? Gold too, right? They got bullions. They got tons of gold down there. They got oil. They got natural resources.
Why is it that all these countries who have all these natural resources are so poor? Venezuela has all the oil, they're poor. Haiti has a bunch of minerals and natural resources, they're poor. North Korea has a shitload of natural resources and and rare materials. They're poor.
A lot of Africa has a lot of minerals and materials for sure, absolutely. And a lot of
And the
those
U.S.
countries are
goes
poor.
out of the U.S. goes out of the way to put all these sanctions so that the countries with the materials can't trade, and they go in and people are just going and taking them. It's crazy.
So do you think this is another part of American hegemony trying to control Venezuela for their resources? Is that the simple answer, or is there a deeper political consideration here that we might be missing?
Or is it that the international Jewish central banking system does not want competition? And you don't want the countries that are not a part of your system to leverage and use their resources to compete against you because they are in the business of printing money that's worthless out of thin air. That's their model. That's how it works. They print money that's not backed by anything. Therefore, you have to go after the countries that have the resources to actually back their currency.
Matthew,
Because if there was actual currency backed by actual resources, why would you ever use the fake money?
I'm shocked, Matt. I'm shocked to my core. Did you just say the Jewish something? The planking? The Jewish planking system? Did you just say you're going to get us axed again, Matt? Shame on you. Shame on you. Why would you bring that up? It's terrible of you to say.
I know everyone's like, "Oh, you got to," they're like, "Duck, you got another strike." I'm like, "Fuck, I did."
I was just like, oh, okay.
Duck, get out of the way. Strike incoming. It's like we're on a fishing boat.
Bro, that's exactly where I was going. I'm like, dude, are we gonna get buffer? Are we gonna get buffer bombed right now? Are we gonna get turned off? You know, the SARS are listening, brother. The SARS are listening. They have a very simple master, bro. You're dancing with the devil here, brother. You're dancing with the devil.
Because you see this meeting right now going on. We just saw it, and I think we have a video of it of the Xi, Putin, Kim Jong Un meeting. And it's obvious propaganda, but this thing was wild. Oh no, play the other one, Will. The other one.
Look at these guys. You know what I love the most is the synchronization of all of this. Like,
But-
this is how a military should be.
It doesn't look
Synchronized.
real. It looks like AI.
Well, yeah, because these guys are trained for hours to ensure that they're absolutely aligned. They're walking in step. They're moving their body perfectly. I mean, this looks like a pure show of power, and at some small level gives me a hard on. I love it.
I mean, the U.S. military can't do this. Why not? Is it a discipline issue? Is it a coordination issue? Like, what's the problem that the United States military, who is supposed to be the strongest military in the world, so we're told, cannot do this? Because Trump, for his coming from his party in DC, had the military marching through DC, and that thing was a joke.
We looked like foolery. We looked like the military looked like a DEI installation. It looked like everyone was DEI. Like we were not in sync. We people, their shoulders were slouched. But these Chinamen and these Chinese women, they love their country. They are showing all of their equipment. Look at these guys, back straight, proud. Look at these bombs. Look at these weapon systems. This is amazing. Like, how could let's be honest. If you were in the crowd, would you not be proud of your country? Would you not be like, damn, son? Damn.
Yeah, you sound like such a, what do you call it? A communist Chinese sympathizer. But it's like when we used to watch the. Remember during the Biden administration, one of the popular things to show would be, this is the Russian military advertisement recruiting video, and then this is the U.S. Recruiting video, and we'd be like, "Oh, look, the U.S. one is so gay," and
Well, it was because it was all about we need to be inclusive. And here's a sunflower to make sure that the imagery of trans is more important than actually fighting enemies. Whereas the English and the German and the other countries, their military videos are like hardcore, like waspy creatures running around, shooting, doing all sorts of stuff. While we got these like fat, blue-haired dogs. Man, we haven't said that in a long time. Blue-haired sheepdogs in our military. What happened, Matt? Did we fall off the military might train or something? What's up?
Well, and then Trump comes out and is like, no, actually, it doesn't matter. And they're like, the real battle is in space. And I'm like,
Get out of here.
it's so easy to say that because no one can verify. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they may have better planes and missiles and weapons, and they may march better, and they may have more people, and they may be more disciplined and organized, but we have space lasers. And I'm like, do we? Can someone check that for me, please? Can we fact check that?
Can we get it at Grok, please?
Yeah, is that a real thing? You know?
I apparently so. But let me ask you this: you would not show if you were China, right? If you were Xi and you had this amazing parade of all of the military might, you wouldn't actually be showing all of your tech, would you?
I don't know. If I was doing a show of force and I was going to do it by bombing and throwing a missile at a fishing boat, I would have used my space laser. That is a show of force. I would be really impressed if there was this fishing boat and they're like, oh, look, there's drugs on it. And they took a space laser and they whoosh, and they got it like, nice. That's sick.
That's sick, bro.
Yeah, right?
That would be a
They
true
didn't do
show.
that.
No. They use traditional weapons. Lame.
Yeah. Well, then what do you have? Why are you doing your... How can you say in the same breath the Venezuela fishing boat was a show of force, at the same time be like, but our force is in space?
Monster kill, right? Double kill.
I want to see fishing. I want to see a space laser on a fishing boat, or I want to see another video of a MH370 where they telewarp a fishing boat or a plane away. Let's see. Let me see you do that twice. You know what I mean? Maybe they did it one time. Maybe they got lucky. Who knows? Do it twice. I'll be really impressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't just say, "Oh, we have space lasers," so like, don't worry about it.
Epic kill. I love this. Do you remember Unreal Tournament from back in the day?
Yeah.
Do you remember all those sounds? Monster kill. Headshot.
What I did see was this. You sent me this in Germany. The AfD, which is considered the far right party, who is trending in Germany, by the way. And we've talked about this, the rise of far right parties in all these countries. We're talking about Germany and Poland and Japan,
Australia.
This Australia far right movement is becoming a thing. Actually, that'd be a really good band name. Remember them? Far East Movement. Was that what they were called? Far East Movement, whatever. Yeah. Far right movement. They are all blowing up. They're getting big. I think they had like 20% of the vote in Germany. And 4 people died in the last week. 6 people?
6.
6.
7.
7.
Oh, it's going up.
Yesterday I read 4 German
way.
AfD candidates who were supposed to sit in the elections died suddenly. 4 politicians that are a part of the AfD in Germany, which supports mass deportations. 4 of them died unexpectedly. I woke up today and it was 6 AfD politicians died suddenly. In the last hour, it is now 7 AfD politicians died suddenly. 7 from one party. One party in Germany which supports mass deportations. And this is before key state elections. To put that into perspective, imagine any party
That's crazy.
in your country, any one party had
So-
7 of their politicians.
It looks like,
They have a Clinton. They have a German Clinton there.
okay, 7 seems like a lot.
What do you mean
But
seems like a lot?
But
How
I
many?
believe there are like 2,000 candidates running in the election total.
Yeah, but come on now. What are the chances of those 2,000 dying all within the same 48 hours?
They said one was suicide,
Of course.
one was he was like 70 something years old, so one just died because he's old.
Okay.
It's still a lot.
I mean, okay, I'll give you the one decided to self-delete. I'll give you the one is old. But when we start moving into 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like things start to not add up. And so I wonder, this is kind of extracting ourselves out of the equation for a second here. With all, because we talked about this in our last podcast, with all of the responses or all of the reactions of what's happening around the world with these alt-right personality, waspy type individuals that are rising up out of all of these countries, do you think that this mass deletion of these candidates is a reaction to what the powers at play are saying? Look, this is getting way too out of hand. Like the ants are finally starting to wake up against the grasshoppers in the bug life, right? They're finally realizing that they have a bigger voice. They're stronger than they might believe. Do you think this is kind of a crack in the matrix? I'm trying to put a positive spin on this, Matt, because it's not great that all these people died, but is this kind of a crack in the matrix?
Or is it just simply a blow off valve where
man,
they say,
You and the
look,
blow off valves, dude.
they're like, hey, be angry a little bit. Yeah, they're coming after you so that you can feel good about it. Because what if it were true? What if it were true that 6 or 7 or 8 of people from the far right party, people in Germany say it's like center right. What if 7 or 8 people from that party were deleted? What would happen?
I don't know. I don't like
Nothing.
Well, here's the
Like
thing.
what's happening in Indonesia right now? Any updates on that? Will, can you look real quick? Has anything happened after all that rioting, or is it like, okay, the rioting's over, we're kind of bored of this now, let's go home?
Can I give you a statistical fact? It's a statistical law that I remember learning in university 20 years ago. It's everything reverts to the mean. Like everything reverts to the mean, which is a fancy way of saying everything always ends up rebalancing back out, right? You can't be at either extreme for a long period of time. It's exhausting. You can't run that way. Everything returns to the mean at the end of the day. And so if I were to bring that up, it's a negative way of looking at it. But if everything reverts to the mean, then yeah, you're going to have these conflagrations of people blowing up, politicians getting mass deleted. But guess what? Everything is going to revert back to the mean, and everyone's going to go back to their daily, day and be like, you know what? I have to pick up eggs and bread today, and my sister's sick. So guess what? These 7, 8 people that have been deleted, I have to worry about that some other time. I mean, that's kind of how life works, Matt, in a lot of ways. Don't you agree?
I mean, what happened to Mexico? Because people are talking about, we mentioned it too, 37 candidates in Mexico deleted.
Crazy.
Right before the Jewish Mexican one, Jewish Mexican lady one, right?
You know what I love? You know what I love
Like
about
1% of Mexico, but yet she's president.
Yes, that's what I love. I love the fact that Mexicans are so progressive that they would select and choose the minority of the minorities to lead them and guide their nation to greatness. That is, I mean, they're like a perfect example of liberalism at its finest.
And we used to hear a lot when we're talking about immigration, we're talking about the border. We hear a lot about the stay in Mexico policy, right? Like, oh, you got to keep them in Mexico because you can't come across the border and then etc. When was the last time you heard about illegal immigrants that's stuck on the Mexico border side? Is that even a thing?
No, it's not a thing anymore.
Did that just disappear?
Actually, it's not even happening, Matt.
I don't think any of it ever happened. You know that.
well,
You know that. Most unpopular take I've ever had. People hate that shit. Whatever.
Could you remind us of your most unpopular take?
Oh, I think the mass immigration, the mass illegal immigration border invasion in the United States was like completely overblown, probably by 90%.
I remember watching your interview with Jake Shields, and he didn't take you to task on it. But what I really loved about that conversation piece with Jake Shields is he's so open. Like he
Yeah.
really like the way he was like, you know what, I never thought of it that way. You know?
Because I told him it's like the thing that gets people the most mad, right? When I talk about this idea. And then after the podcast was over, we're in the car. He goes, "Dude, I didn't want to say it, but dude, I think you're right."
Oh man, you can't be spilling the tea on Jake like that, bro. Oh,
The math ain't mathed. Come on. If anything in life, I'm good at math. There's no math. The math doesn't work. You just can't make that shit up.
not wrong. The math ain't math. It's kind of like how in the world there's only about like 2 billion people, not 7.
That's true too.
People are gonna be like, bro, you guys are way off the reservation. So with all of these mass deletions in Germany has been under the spotlight a lot because Germany is kind of like UK from a different timeline. UK and that island is being overrun. We're seeing some of the most heinous crimes being committed by people that are not of that host nation. We also have seen a lot of that in Germany as well. And so we're seeing the right and the alt-right or the conservative rise in Germany as a response to a lot of this mass importation of people that are not part of that species group. And so I wonder, Matt, I think I'm looking at this from a positive spin. I think this is a crack in the matrix. And the reason I look at it that way is if you continue a pattern of mass deletions before an election, people are going to get savvy. People are going to get upset. Don't you think?
I don't think this AFP or AFD party is actually that far right. So maybe it's to make them be the far right. And what they're doing is they're moving the window because there are groups that are further right than them. It's like, because I saw this article and they were saying, oh yeah, the AFD, they're the far right of Germany, like MAGA is. I'm like, wait, MAGA is not the far right.
Bro, you just blew me away. You're so smart, dude. Like, so what they're doing is just like MAGA, right? They took MAGA and they pushed them all the way to the right, right?
Well, narrative wise, they said they're the right, but reality and ideologically, they're like center left.
Yeah, I was about to say center. Yeah. It's so what you're saying, which I think is very meta, what you're saying is they're radicalizing them. They're pushing them farther right. Is that what you're saying?
No, what they're doing is they're making them the far right, therefore moving the entire Overton window further left.
I get you.
And you're almost discrediting and losing the actual far right.
Wow.
Maybe. It's like, they're like, oh yeah, MAGA. Because the thing that made me think about it is all these newspapers were saying, oh, they're far right of Germany like MAGA. And I'm like, MAGA is not that far right.
That sounds scripted when they say it like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. It was almost like
these are the talking points.
Overton window manipulation. That's what I think it is.
Man, I love that you are able to extract yourself out of the kind of the minutia there. I think you're spot on. I think this is a radicalization technique, right? What about this vantage point? Do you think it's a scare tactic? Do you think they're like, whoa? I mean, I was thinking about running, but you know what? My homie and my homie's homie just got deleted. Like, I'm kind of over this whole political thing. Do you think it's a scare tactic?
I don't think it's a scare tactic. I think what it is like attention. So like, oh, look, all these people died in AFD and they're the far right. So now people that are in Germany or around Germany, like, oh yeah, we support them now because they're the far right. But really, their far right is like much further right.
Yeah, I see.
They're just pulling people out,
I see.
It's like, don't be anti-Semitic. Follow Trump because he's like far right. But like, dude, he's not far right.
Not at all.
There's nothing far right about him at all.
I see what you're doing here. This is like 5D chess here. I see what you're doing here. And so let's say a simpleton like me, would look at this mass deletion and say, it's a scare tactic or they're trying to radicalize them. You are saying the opposite. You say, no, sir, no, sir. They're mass deleting them to move everybody left.
Yes. Because what they're doing is they're giving attention to them. They're normalizing them as the far right. They're moving the goalpost. And therefore, the furthest right, who actually does care about mass deportations, does care about hegemony, who does care about Germany first, those people are being alienated. And they're losing their label of far right. Now they're just extremists.
I think I'm with you now. You know what I love about these conversations, Matt, is that you and I are willing to unpack in the unknowns and the gray the optionality of the situation, right? We don't tell anybody in this chat what to think. You guys, if I may say, all you guys in chat, check in SAR, you guys are privileged to listen to our musings of trying to unpack it ourselves. We are doing a good service here. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I'm extracting myself out here and kind of looking in. I love this conversation. Why? Because we do not have the truth. We do not speak with authority like we know the truth. We're trying to seek understanding. Fuck off, Will. Why you gotta fuck up my flow? Will, man, if you were here, I'd punch you in the neck, bro. Someone would be, oh, that's low IQ of you, Peter. That's low impulse control. That's what the Twitters are gonna say.
I think that's what it is. I think that's something that we do all, which is we don't actually know where we're going until we kind of talk and hear the ideas and let the ideas go, and then we figure it out. You're like, okay, actually, maybe that makes more sense. It takes time to figure that out. You have to circle around, and it's hard to get there on your own.
Well, and you guys get to bear witness to my retardation because you guys get to see my eyes get wide, and that's worth a $5 tip. Thank you, Sar. Appreciate that.
This is my eyes wide. By the way.
No, but it shows I am willing to be convinced otherwise, right? Sometimes I come off as confident and assured in my speech, but it's just the way I talk. But if you've been following us long enough, Matt and I are both very open to being changed through the conversation and discourse. I love that.
I mean, that's how it should be, right? That's how things used to be, where you have an idea, you have a thought, you have a theory, and you discuss, you talk it out, and you're like, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense, and you figure it out together. That's what it's supposed to be. But now we're in this day and age of just fucking propaganda, everything,
bro,
and everything's like, dude, can you pull up this one thing, Will? I don't know if you can. All these accounts on X right now are like shilling India.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I have. It's pretty obvious. And that's the thing. Like, we're pointing out the patterns that are obvious, right?
Like, Ryan Fournier, India has always had President Trump's back. If India made a fortune off Russia, their marriages show it. They don't. Why are these random accounts that are considered people defiant L's? India has welcomed Trump with open arms. Hitting India with tariffs over oil won't punish Moscow. Why is everyone coming out in favor of India at the same exact time? Almost like they were paid to. Almost like it was scripted and it was sent to them as talking points, Matt. Oh my, this has never been done before, has it? For shekels and rubles.
Shekels, baby. For the shekels.
Yeah, I have a friend who was trying to like put up his beliefs of his company on his website, and he didn't want to say it with saying it, but basically his website, his beliefs on his website for his business says no cheats, no Jews, which is like without saying it, that's what he says. And I'm like, I wonder if this is gonna work.
Wait. Can you actually give me the language he actually used? Because I would like to be able to replicate that in a positive way. Because I would love to understand the let's just say the vernacular
like
that he posed.
How to make it that way?
Yeah. How do you say no to the Jeets and the Semites without being overtly offensive? I'm curious as to what type of colloquialisms they were able to use effectively without getting banned.
Let me see if I can find it real quickly while
For
We're
everybody here,
here.
welcome to the show. We are coming up on the 11 o'clock hour. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe we've been chatting it up for over an hour already. For everybody here, welcome. We have a full 542 in the stream, which means I should expect about 542 thumbs up. Could you please take your mouse cursor, SARS, move it over to the thumbs up button, and please click on the thumbs up button, because everybody knows about smash the like button, but that's boring. You want to click the like button and do it gently. Do it with love. Do it with care. Do it with your hearts that are fully out to the entire world. That is what I would like for all of you to do.
I am going to find it and send it to you. I wonder if they took it off. Oh, maybe they got.
Oh, did they get found out? They get found
Maybe.
out? Oh,
I don't see it on there anymore.
Robert Sothman says he stroked the thumbs up button. Oh, I like that.
Stroked it.
I
Stroked it.
like it. Stroke it. Stroke it.
All right, well,
SAR compliance from Ranger. Yes, SAR compliance. Absolutely. Check in.
So what we're gonna do every show is, because obviously we're not going through the chat as much while we're talking about different topics, but we do want to recognize and also answer some of the questions that we got through the chat. So we are gonna do some of the super chats right now. I spent like 5 hours making that, by the way.
So we didn't really get any questions in the super chats. Just a lot of comments.
Let's go. Well, we have a lot of people that are coming all over the world. Hey, if you're going to be checking in, SARS, and you're going to be commenting on this video, make sure you let us know. We love hearing from people all over the world. We have people from Asia, from
Oriana, thank you.
Oh yeah, Oriana, thank you. So much love to everybody out there, from Asia, China, to Canada, to Mexico. We got people over in Africa that love us. We were talking about that
What
one guy.
is this? Wolf 359 Survivor. President Maduro offered $50 million for release of Epstein files. Does it have to be the entire?
It has to be the unredacted for sure.
So, because we get like a bunch of black lines and like one word. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't do it.
Remember what Dan Bongino and Kash Patel said. There could be the potential that we don't even have that anymore because it's actually under the control of Israel.
What the hell is Drew Huntley saying? Can you read that for us, Will? Can you? I'm afraid if I read it, I'm gonna say something stupid. Read it. Can you read that, Peter?
It says, "Can you shout
Sumo Dog?" It's Sweeze's dog Sumo. I don't know what that means.
I don't understand what that means. Anybody have a clue what the hell that means?
Well, now our entire community knows how to make us laugh. You just say something completely nonsensical. Can you shout out Sumo Dog? Hey, Sumo Dog.
Oh, man, I wonder if it's a meme coin.
My hearts go out to you, Sumo Dog, and all the Sweezies.
I think we just did a meme coin shout out.
Oh, did we? Is that
maybe?
No, this kind of sounds like Winamp. Do you remember Winamp? Do you remember Winamp from back in the 90s?
Yeah, of course. I had Winamp skins and everything.
So what did it say when you loaded it up?
I don't know.
Winamp really whips the llama's ass. Do you remember that?
No, it didn't.
Come on, get the fuck out of here. Go
What?
Google it right now. Whips the llama's ass. Come on, man. I thought you were an 80s
DM
kid.
you on X about.
What does that say? Read it out loud, Will. You know, Will, like sometimes you get the text to talk where people text and then, you get the robotic AI voice read the chat.
Yeah.
Will, that's you.
Is it? Okay. No Coiner says, I'm DMing you on X, the protocols of foreskin. A bold strategy to ban circumcision and create a behavioral sink in the West against you-know-who's with lawfare against their rituals. The timing is key.
Ooh.
I don't know what that means.
That's very esoteric of you, no coiner.
Wait, did he say he's gonna DM me foreskin? Is that what it is? I can't read it. It's like too small.
He's
you gotta
DMing
make
you on X,
bigger.
the protocols of foreskin. Yes.
Those chinky eyes, bro. You gotta open up those eyes, man. You gotta have the wide eyes like Peter. I have no idea what the bold strategy of circumcision is. like Is he talking about Jesus and circumcision of the heart? Is that what he's talking about? I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Hey, you says, I found you guys recently. Love your takes and sarcasm. Keep up the great work. You guys really whipped the llama's ass.
That's right. Winamp really whips the llama's ass.
Peter, can you get the Doge intro song for the OGs? Whoa.
Oh, wow. ACU 5BTC. Wow, brother. You're harkening back to 2016, 2017, bro. You must have been following
What
me
is
back
this
then.
Doge intro song?
So I'm
Can you sing it for us?
no, I can't. But I will promise ACU 5BTC. I will load up the Doge song, the
Next
OG
show.
Doge song next show. I'll put it on the show notes so that we can play it. TLDR, long story short, I am the original Doge Lord. So Elon Musk says that he's the Doge. No, he's not. I was the original Doge Lord. You can look it up. Go back to 2016, 2017. I was top 10 wallets of Doge, verified, screenshot, receipts. And up till 2 years ago, I was still mining Dogecoin on a Pentium 2 233, not economically efficient, but I wanted to keep that streak alive. And then I took a vacation and it got turned off and I just said, fuck it. So
I'm not doing it again.
let's just say there was a point in time when I was a top 10 wallet on the planet of the most Dogecoins than anybody else. Yes, true story. ACU 5BTC, you must have been there.
So we will have the Doge song coming soon.
Yes, I will write the note down. Doge song. Thank you for the super chat, brother.
That's what we have for this week, everyone. I think, are you going to be around this weekend? What's your schedule like, Peter?
We can run something this weekend. You guys want to have a weekend show? We can do something off the cuff. We can talk about news, or we can go deep into some other esoteric topics. Because there's a lot of stuff. You know, Matt and I are. I won't speak for Matt. I'm not that intelligent. Okay, but there are a lot of things that I like. There are a lot of things that I like to talk about, and there are a lot of things that Matt likes to talk about. So we could do a weekend show. We could run it. What do you think?
Saturday or Friday?
Friday.
Saturday, I am watching Korea play the U.S. national soccer team. That's on Saturday.
Really?
They're doing a friendly in the They're doing a friendly in New Jersey, and then I think a few days after that, they're doing. The Korean national team is playing Mexico in Tennessee.
Really?
So I'm gonna watch both. Can you comment on the Korea president statement on immigration? We touched on this a few weeks ago, right?
We did, but it's not getting any better. Because you guys might have known, and we'll talk
The new
about
Korean president's like, oh, we should be nicer to foreigners. That's what he said, basically.
not only are going to be nicer to foreigners, but we're going to make provisions for them. But also, if you remember in history not too long ago, Korea now has a Holocaust museum, which makes so much sense, Matthew, because you remember in World War II, the Koreans were a big part of the destruction of all of those, gas chamber or something. You know, we know in history books that the Koreans were all about that. So it makes so much sense that Korea would have a Holocaust museum to represent the amount of effort, blood, tears that went into saving all of the prisoners from all of the concentration camps in World War II.
James Powers says, any more thoughts on the U.S. pulling back from the world leader podium? Because we talked about that a little bit last time.
We did.
And Will, can you make that bigger? Like, you can just put it in the middle. You don't have to put it all the way in the bottom because, like, it's hard to read. I think you can, like, do something. Do something. Do something, Like, figure it out. This is ridiculous. I'm like, my eyes are small already. I'm sitting here, like, squinting, trying to figure out how to read this.
That's why our podcast is called Do It Live.
So, I read a lot of Korean history because I'm interested in it. And there's a guy named Kim Koo, which was kind of the leader of the provincial government of Korea. And he wrote this book. And in it, he says, and this is when Korea was trying to after right before the Korean War, right after World War II, and basically said, I want Korea to be the most beautiful country in the world. I don't want it to be the richest. I don't want it to be the most powerful. I want it to be a place that of history and education and culture in a way that every other country wants to model us, not us model other countries. I love that idea. The goal isn't to be number one. It's to make your country so damn good that everyone naturally wants to follow you and be like you. And I like that idea. I think that's what America should do also. I think America should really focus on America first, make America the best country in the world, not because we say it, because it's actually true. And if we actually were to do it, we wouldn't have to go and bomb other countries to force allegiance to us. You could just get allegiance by being the best. And you know you're not the best when you have forced people to like you. When you have to pay people to like you, when you have to propagandize countries to like you, if you have to go to war to take over and remove world leaders that don't agree with you, you're not the strongest. You're not the best country, because if you were, you wouldn't have to do that shit.
I mean, it's hard for me to disagree with you. However, there would be a lot of patriots out there that would be upset with you, insinuating that America isn't the best. And so, I wonder, let's just look at the facts. People are still coming to America, right? So, do we need to make America better than what it is now, or is what we have now sufficient enough to bring in the legion of doctors, lawyers, and rocket scientists to our shores? Are we doing a good job in that, or do we need to be better?
I keep everyone out. I'm here. I snuck in the country, so I'm staying. But I don't know. If you want America to be the best country, you got to focus on making America the best country. Stop worrying about everybody else. And if you're the best country, other people will follow. I think that's the best way to
very
lead.
Jordan Peterson of you to say, like, clean your room.
If I was Jordan Peterson, I would be crying while I spoke about it. So I don't like the comparison that much.
Be a man.
He cries a lot. I'm not big on men who cry on camera.
Yeah, especially when you're talking about being a man or like
Be a man.
Be a man. No. Well, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this real quick before we go to loose cunt. Oh my gosh. Nice name. GG. I just realized what I said. Good job, bro. Hopefully, I've just completely forgot what I was going to talk about. No, I forgot what it. Let's go to Lou. Lou. What is the Asian equivalent of the Zionist Jew?
Say the full name. Show some respect. Loose cunt.
Loose cunt. Sorry, loose cunt.
Loose cunt.
What is the Asian equivalent of the Zionist Jews? What Asian is the most Jewish?
Huh. That's an interesting question.
Well,
there are a lot of Zionists in Asia in general, because Zionists are everywhere.
Yes, they are.
Unfortunately, they tend to be the Christians. Well, they tend to be the Christians that are part of the very large denominations. So in Korea, the Methodists, the Presbyterians tend to be more Zionist, because it's the Zionist missionaries that brought the Christianity there. So there are these mega churches that are enormous, and all those, you call them Methodist, Presbyterians, Pentecostal, they would be extremely Zionist. If there is a Zionist Jew, I don't know what that reference is. Maybe wants to take over the world?
I think that's the wrong way of looking at it, loose cunt. I think the right way of looking at it is which Asian countries are currently being molded, shaped, and guided by the Zionists. I think that is probably a better way of looking at the situation. Now, if I were to take that particular viewpoint, Korea clearly is the most co-opted, the most. Yeah, I mean, we just talked about it. Korea now has a Holocaust museum to commemorate all of the South Koreans who died in World War II.
And they are big and in lockstep with Hollywood. Hollywood,
the trans agenda,
music, like a lot of it. Even the Korean Netflix shows have like trans people in them now. It's getting pretty bad. So
It is. It's an unfortunate thing, and I hate admitting it because
it sucks.
we're Korean. It sucks. But Korea is. You said it differently, and this is a completely different perspective. I'm gonna roll it back. I said moons ago, year ago, when we talked about this, that Korea is the microcosm of what's already happening and already happened in America. You took the other side. You said that Korea is the experimentation ground for what can be done in mass in the Western worlds. So I'm curious, do you still believe that?
Yeah. Well, I don't. If you want to know what's going to happen in the world, follow what's going to Korea, because you take all the technology, all the same ideas, all the commercialization, all the consumerism, all the Zionism, and you put it and wrap it up all in a tight space with the maximum amount of people, you get to see what the result is the fastest. So if you're going to test an idea and you see what the rest of the population of the world and how they would react to it, you try it there. That's just social economics that makes sense.
So you're saying, if I can amalgamate your statement into a very simple sentence, it would be, because Korea is so small and the scale is so small, it is easy to see the ramifications of decisions made very quickly.
Correct.
Right. Okay. And so you say that Korea is a petri dish, a lab experiment for the larger opportunities at play. Is that what you're saying? You still believe that? Man, that's really sick. That's really sick of you. That's really sick, Matt. Like, that's disappointingly sick. That the Koreans would be so obtuse that they would allow themselves to be the petri dish and experimentation lab for the rest of the liberalism that's proliferating the world. That's terrible.
The rich are extremely rich, the poor extremely poor. You sell them on consumerism, you sell them on Hollywood, and you make life really difficult, make everything really expensive. You put everyone in tight spaces, and then they don't have the ability or the time or the effort to fight back because everyone is in survival mode. And does that sound like your city where you live and you are watching? Well, it is. That's exactly what they're doing, isn't it? They make it so difficult and so hard to live and make it so expensive just to survive that you don't have the power, energy, or effort to fight back.
That's right. You are a rat trapped in a cage. Absolutely. So we got a super chat from No Coiner. He says, the protocols of foreskin is a way to socially engineer the West against Jewish and Islam by leveraging right-wing influencers and lawfare against circumcision and the public perception against those engaged.
I got a question before you go in. Is circumcision like a banned word? Like, why do we have to spell it out in that way? Can you not spell that out in a YouTube chat? I don't know. Is that a banned word?
I don't know. I don't know if foreskin. I don't know if foreskin.
I think he was being coy.
And circumcisions is. No Coiner, we're gonna get the Doge song for you. The whole social engineering of the protocols of foreskin. It's a little bit beyond my pay grade, mostly because I don't fully understand what you're saying.
I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to know what that's all about. I'm also scared to click a link. I'm not gonna lie. If someone said, "Hey, dive deep into the foreskin here," I don't know if I'm clicking that.
Yeah, probably don't want to click anything with the words foreskin in it. That's probably not a wise idea. Wolf359 Survivor says, thoughts on amending the Constitution to add hundreds of Congress members to the House. Lack representation is a major problem no one is talking about. Well, we know that the representatives in the House and Congress, right, is lopsided. We know this, right? Because California has tons of delegates, right? They got all the numbers versus like a Connecticut, right? Obviously, like it's a numbers game. And so what some people would argue, because I read a little bit about this, but not a whole lot. Some would argue that it's trying to even the playing ground, right? Making sure that there's more quote unquote equal representation. I say poobah. I say no, sir. I disagree with you. You want to throw 100 people more into Congress, into the House of Representatives? You're just asking for more co-opting. You're just asking for more I'm bringing it back. Spineless jellyfish with no brains. That's all you're going to do, sir. And so I say, no, I don't think adding hundreds of Congress members who can also be paid off and honeypotted is a wise idea. I do not think That is a great idea. That was my
I'm a
take.
huge advocate and believer in smaller government.
There you
The
go.
idea of adding more government is horrible. And what happened to, remember when Biden was like, oh yeah, I'm going to hire 87,000 new IRS agents. And Trump was like, oh, look at Biden. They're going to go after everybody with all these IRS agents. And then Trump just brought them all back.
Is it one of those whiplash from Trump again? The Trumpian
What happened to
promises?
getting rid of them all? Well, there's a lot of programs in this big, beautiful bill that they have to do. So they need more IRS agents because you got to pay for them. So how are you going to pay for them? Well, let's collect more taxes.
I think we would all be better off if the government got really, really small. I think most people would agree with that idea. We are too. Have you seen the infographic that shows how many administrators of healthcare versus how many physicians there are in healthcare? Have you seen that? The meme was, this is why we need AI for healthcare, because the healthcare administrators, who are just freaking paper pushers, has gone up by 3,500%, like 4,000%. Whereas the amount of physicians and doctors who are actually helping people is basically flatlined. And so the point I'm trying to make is, there's so much overhead. There's so many people in government, in these huge organizations, that are absolutely zero calories, provide zero value to the entire system. We need to get rid of them all. Super chat from ACU 5BTC says, your old show intro song hyped my kids up so much. I bought $100 of Doge every week since 2016 for my kids.
Wow.
And still adding kids are whales. Lol, bro. Go on with your bad self.
Crush it.
Man.
Damn. The kids are whales. Sitting good.
I love it. My heart goes out to you, Doge Lord. ACU 5BTC, my friend. You're doing it right. You're doing it for the children. I mean, in a lot of ways, that's what Matt and I are kind of trying to do as we're trying to help make the world, if we could say it that way, help make the world just a little bit better than when we entered into it for our progeny and our foreskins.
We will see you tomorrow night,
Saturday,
10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah, let's do Friday.
You want to do Friday?
I think we're gonna turn on Friday no matter what. I don't know what we're gonna talk about yet, but we'll do Friday.
All right.
And then Saturday, maybe we'll play it by ear. Maybe we'll think about it tomorrow. We may get burned out after one more day tomorrow. Friday, tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Don't be a bitch. Show up. Check in. SAR. Loose cunt. Thank you, buddy.